In 2026, the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East has entered a new phase: complex, volatile, and technologically unpredictable. And at the heart of this tension lies a name that has recently sent shockwaves across military analysts and international security forums: Al-Ikea Barbod missile. Developed and unveiled from the war-torn but resilient region of Yemen, this missile system marks a surprising and bold leap forward in the country's indigenous military capabilities. Yes, you heard that right. Yemen, a country long plagued by internal conflict and foreign interventions, has now entered the missile game with an indigenous weapon that experts believe could shift regional power balances. The Barbod missile isn't just another launch system, it's a symbol of defiance, innovation, and rapid military evolution in one of the world's most heavily surveilled and contested regions. So, what exactly is the Barbod missile? How did it emerge? What makes it so different from other missile systems in the region? And what does this mean for future air and missile defense strategies in the Middle East and beyond? Let's begin with the origin. While Yemen has historically depended on foreign-supplied weapon systems from Soviet era to modern drones supplied through unofficial channels, so the development of the Barbod missile signals a new direction: domestic engineering under siege conditions. According to initial leaked defense documents and open-source intelligence, the Barbod is believed to be a short to medium-range ballistic missile with precision strike capability. The name Barbod roughly translates to panther or prowler in Persian-rooted dialects, suggesting stealth, power, and agility are all characteristics that Yemen's developers are claiming this missile system embodies. Technically speaking, the Barbod appears to be a hybrid. Analysts believe its design borrows heavily from earlier Iranian missile platforms like the Fate 110 and possibly elements from the Russian, but with unique modifications adapted for Yemen's rugged terrain and operational needs. Let's talk about range and payload. Unconfirmed but credible estimates place the Barbod's range between 300 to 500 kilometers, giving it striking capability across large swaths of Saudi Arabia, southern UAE, and potentially even into Red Sea shipping lanes. The warhead is to be conventional, possibly up to 500, but designed for both blast fragmentation and precision target. One of the most surprising aspects of the Barbod is its launch versatility. Leaked footage suggests the missile can be launched from mobile transporter erector launcher vehicles, concealed caves, and possibly even underground silos built in remote parts of the Yemeni highlands. This dramatically increases its survivability and makes preemptive strikes against it far more difficult. But the big game changer? Its guidance system. Early versions of Yemen's ballistic missiles, including those used in the conflict, relied on inertial navigation and GPS with questionable accuracy. The Barbod, on the other hand, appears to have integrated a dual-mode terminal guidance system, possibly including optical seekers or radar correlation algorithms, giving it an estimated SEP, circular error probable, of less than 30 meters. That level of precision makes it more than just a psychological weapon, it's a tactical one. Now let's talk about propulsion. From what we know, the Barbod likely uses a solid fuel propulsion system, a major advancement over liquid-fueled systems previously used in the region. Solid fuel means faster deployment, reduced launch preparation time, and a lower risk of detection during fueling. This alone places the in a new category of regional threats. There are also whispers of unconfirmed but persistent of a variant under development. This version would potentially have longer range, advanced jamming resistance, and possibly even re-entry vehicle that could defeat most Patriot and interceptors currently deployed in the Gulf region. So where did all this tech come from? That's the billion-dollar question. Military intelligence agencies across the globe are speculating that, while the missile's final assembly and testing were conducted in Yemen, much of its critical technology likely came from Iran, North Korea, or via smuggled components through secret logistical networks stretching from Central Asia to East Africa. But what's truly fascinating is how Yemen has localized this technology, adapting it to harsh desert environments, integrating it with rudimentary command structures, and even deploying it in covert ways. The political and military implications of the Barbod missile are massive. For one, it shatters the image of Yemen as a non-technical, non-industrial war zone. This is no longer a conflict driven by Toyota-mounted machine guns. The signals a shift into an era of precision warfare, and it's not just Yemen. Other regional powers are taking notes. Saudi Arabia, which has been actively involved in the conflict, now faces a new form of deterrence. It's one thing to engage with militias, it's another to deal with precision-guided capable of striking air bases, oil infrastructure, and command centers. The Barbod also sends a message to the international community: don't underestimate Yemen's defense capabilities. For decades, Yemen has been treated as a periphery in global arms development. With the Barbods, it is now forcing nations to reassess intelligence reports, satellite surveillance protocols, and even arms embargo enforcement strategies. Let's not forget the maritime implications. The missile's potential reach into the Bab Strait for global oil shipping raises alarms across NATO and the US Fifth Fleet. With missile systems like the Barbods potentially deployed on mobile coastal batteries or even disguised cargo platforms, the entire Red Sea corridor becomes a high-risk zone for both military and commercial vessels. Now, let's pivot to something that hasn't been discussed in mainstream military media: integration with modern command and control systems. One of the most shocking claims coming from Yemeni military sources is that the Barbods can be integrated with real-time drone surveillance. That means Yemeni forces could use a loitering drone to lock onto a high-value target and relay that data in real time to a launcher. If true, this would elevate their strike capability from fire and prey to smart targeting. There are even reports of AI-assisted targeting being used during simulation phases. Some insiders suggest that neural network-based trajectory prediction models were used to enhance accuracy during development. This remains speculative. So what comes next? Several key questions are now on the table. Will Yemen mass-produce the missile? Could this technology be exported to other non-state actors? How will regional powers respond? Let's break this down. If Yemen can produce the at scale even a few dozen units a year, it dramatically increases its bargaining power. Already, analysts suggest that UAE and Saudi defense planners are revising their missile defense allocations, moving interceptors closer to vital infrastructure and shifting air defense zones. As for exports, that's the real wild card. If Barbod's variants or blueprints start appearing in Lebanon, Iraq, or Syria, we could be looking at a new era of missile proliferation. This would challenge traditional missile defense systems, which are already under stress from drone swarms and hypersonic developments. International reaction has been swift. The UN Security Council held an emergency session to discuss regional arms proliferation after early test footage of the Barbods went viral. Satellite imagery of suspected test sites near Yemen's northern desert plains show significant activity. The US has increased ISR flights over suspected missile facilities, and regional allies are pressuring shipping authorities to crack down on dual-use goods entering Yemen. Yet despite all this, Yemen's defense ministry released a statement: the Barbod missile represents the spirit of resistance, technological independence, and national pride. We will defend our skies and our sovereignty with intelligence and precision. Back in the 2010s, few would have imagined that Yemen could develop, test, and deploy an advanced system. But here we are. In 2026, it's no longer about who has the biggest army. It's about who can build, adapt, and deploy smarter. And the Barbod missile is Yemen's way of telling the world, we are watching. We are ready. As we close this deep dive, one thing is clear: the military balance of power in the Middle East has entered a new, more unpredictable era. Whether the Barbod becomes a tool for defense, a bargaining chip in ceasefire negotiations, or a spark for larger conflict, it has already made history. Stay tuned. Because this is only the beginning.